Sociology professor Dr. Cynthia Neal Spence of Spelman College challenged her violence against women's class to go out and talk to the men in their communities and ask them why they do not rape.
Well, the text says that the socialization of men, creates the potential in all men to possibly rape. It doesn't say that all men will. But it says the way that men are socialized, that the potential is there. But some of you were literally afraid to ask certain people.
Basically, I've had discussions with men, not even about rape, just about masculinity and femininity and just roles that we have. And it just seems like men, they just get so offensive about everything. And just to take it to rape, it's like, oh my gosh, I just know how my male friends are. And it's just, they just take it to an extreme and they get very argumentative. And I'm, just trying to learn and just trying to get their insight. And it's just always a struggle.
Many of you said, I was afraid of what they might say. So what were you afraid of?
See, I wasn't afraid. Okay. So I asked friends that I knew were going to have responses that I didn't want to hear. I asked my friends who were disrespectful to women, but who always tell me stories, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you did that, or you treated her that way. Just because I know, well, they've never said that they raped anyone, and I've never heard that. So because they have behavior that that could be prone to raping a woman, I wanted to know what their definitions of rape were.
You can't just start a guy and just stop, like he can just stop that quick. Or, well, I mean, if she's a slut, like how can you really prove that, you raped her? And those were more disturbing than that I didn't have to. It was like, that basically you can condone it somewhere in your head that it's okay.
And so, in characterizing potential victims or alleged victims as sluts, what's that rationalization? What is that?
That they deserve it.
I knew that I was going to get an answer that would shock me. So I asked him why he didn't rape, and of course he told me he didn't need to. So I said, well, what about the times when girls come over and you get them drunk and you have sex with them? That's not rape. I said, it's not? You're taking advantage of these women. He said, but I'm not raping them, they consented. I said, but are they in their right minds when they're saying yes? I don't know. I said, well then, how do you know that you're not raping them? And I said, what happens when they wake up in the morning and they don't remember what happened? I remember he had a situation like that his sophomore year where he was telling me some girl woke up, didn't know where she was, totally delusional. Don't you think there's something wrong with that? So I tried to have a discussion with him just to inform him of the different types of rape, that rape isn't just, like striking someone over the head or, some stranger in the street. It can be a husband and a wife, it can be your girlfriend, it doesn't matter. It's when someone says no or they're not in their state of mind, in the right state of mind, and they don't want to do it. But I don't think that I got through to him. I'm sure that nothing's going to change, which really bothers me. It just makes me sad that there are people like this that I know that are close to me.
That certain women deserve rape. He didn't say that blatantly, but that, well, there have been many times where, I was raped. It's just like and I, do assert the fact that some men are raped and experience, violence, sexual violence, but still, there's a certain way that you speak about it, and, we approach all these cases with, such candor that it just blows it all out of the water when you just speak like that. So it was disheartening.
He also acknowledged, he's like, I really do think that every man is capable of it. It's just how some people are raised, their experiences will actually determine whether or not they do.
I asked my best friend, he's a college age male, why don't you rape women? And he said, well, his response was, I have too much respect for female. I also quoted one of the theorists who said in her study when she said that 51% of college-age males said that if they were not punished, if they could be guaranteed no punishment, then they would. And I gave him that scenario. I said, so if you were assured of the fact that you would never be punished, that you would never go to jail, and you were put in a precarious situation, what would you do? I'd go home.
I asked my boyfriend, and he said to me at first, you know, yeah, it's morally reprehensible. You know, you don't rape a woman, you don't attack her. You know, if she doesn't say yes, then, you know, there's no need to do that. But then I started giving him scenarios, like, you know, just what if you and I, you know, I told you I was tired and I didn't want to do it, but then you know, you kept pressuring me and you turned my nose into a yes. Would you consider that rape? And he's like, no, you know, I'm your boyfriend. You want to do it anyway, you know. I know that just because you're tired, it doesn't mean that you really don't want to do it. You just need a little pushing.
On September 20th, 2006, a walkout and march took place throughout the Atlanta University Center in Georgia. It was in response to two separate alleged cases of sexual assault involving Spelman and Morehouse students that were reported to the Spelman College's Women's Center. The demonstration was under the leadership of the Feminist Majority Leadership Alliance, known as FMLA, a progressive student organization on Spelman's campus.
Comment, as I've heard it, is at least it was Morehouse sperm. I would like the students to provide the context for that statement. And if there's been an elaboration upon it, I'd like to know what it is. And we know what the critique is, because it's a disgusting comment. But I would like to understand how, when it was first used, and who used this, because like all of us, we're interested in understanding deeply what has taken place here.
As far as the context of it, we don't know who said it, and I think it just really speaks to, in which my question is about, like how Morehouse has this ideology of like we are the ideal black men, and you should be proud to have any type of interaction with us, especially the potential to hold our sperm, to be receptacles for our sperm. Sad part is there are women that hold that same ideology within themselves, like, I have to have a Morehouse man. He can't be from Clark, he can't be from Georgia Tech, he has to be from Morehouse. That's what we're up against, are these people that think that they're elite because of what their institution instills in them from when they're freshmen. And the same here at Spelman, we have all this, you know, all this sisterhood. We speak of sisterhood, but as soon as you get into a freshman dorm, you're assigned a color and Greek letters and everything that say, you know, you're better than them at Abbey or whatever, and it just goes into this this never-ending circle of this elitism.
I heard, this is hearsay, but I thought just the ultimate representation of that very sick form of entitlement came when a student reported to me that when the students were saying that they were sick and tired of the silence around rape and sexual assault, and that maybe someone made a comment about recent allegations that allegedly a Morehouse man said, well, at least it was Morehouse sperm. And that, to me, is the ultimate representation of male entitlement that has been framed by notions of superiority that are in fact supported within some segments of the Morehouse College campus.